Okay, so we're going to look at some problem solving the expanding brackets. Now, each of these four questions on the sheet involve expanding brackets to solve the problem. All right, and we're just going to use the same grid method that we used before, and then we're going to show how we can actually solve the problems in each case. Okay, so first one, this one up here, find the area of this. Well, area is length times width. So I'll draw it inside the shape because I've got a bit of space there. I got 2x add 5, 3x add 2. So that'll be 6x squared, 15x, 4x, and 10. So overall, my area is going to be 6x squared, add 19x, add 10. Okay, so that one was fairly straightforward. Now, this one here, in order to find the area of what we call a compound shape, I'm going to have to either think of it as one big rectangle and take off this chunk at the top, or split it down into two rectangles. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it down into two rectangles. Okay, now in this rectangle, to get the length times width, we're going to do 2x add 3 times 3x add 2. Okay, in this rectangle, I've got x add 1, but I don't know what this width is. So I need to work out the difference between this whole length and this length to find this bit. Well, in the x's, I've got 2x's more, so that must be 2x. And in the other bits, I've got an add 3 and I want an add 5. So I've got to add on another 2. So my other length will be 2x add 2. So I'm going to expand both of these bits. So that'll be 6x squared, 9x, 4x, and 6. If I do these ones as well, I've got 3x squared, 2x, 2x, and 2. So overall, for this top one, I've got 6x squared, add 13x, add 6. And this second bit here, I've got 3x squared, add 4x, add 2. And I'm adding those bits together. So I end up with 9x squared, add 17x, add 8. And that's my final answer for that question. Okay. Now let's go into this one here and then we'll finish off with this one because that's probably the trickiest of them. So this one, the area of the rectangle is 15. Show that that equals 0. Okay. So as I said, this is an expanding bracket. So to work out an area of a rectangle, I've got to do that times that. Okay, so I've got 8x squared, 12x, 12x, and 18. Right, so if I write that down here, simplify it, I've got 8x squared, add 24x, add 18, and that has to equal this 15 here. That has to equal the 15. Okay, right, so my 8x squared is the same, my 24x is the same, and I need 0 here, so I need to take 15 off both sides. So you end up with 8x squared, add 24x, add 3 equals 0. And I've shown that they're the same thing, and that's all I needed to do. Now the last question, the area of the rectangle is the same as the area of the square, find x. So I need to start again by finding the area of each. So I'm going to be expanding the brackets, that's x squared, 6x, 2x, and 12. And for this one, you've got x squared, x times 5, x times 5, because as it's a square, all the lengths are the same. X squared, 5x, 5x, and 25. So it tells me that the areas are the same. So when I simplify this one to get x squared, add 8x, add 12, that's this one. That equals this one simplified. X squared, add 10x, add 25. Okay. Now, as they're equal, I can take x squared off both sides. And then I've got a simple solve an equation with x's on both sides. Okay, so in order to do that, I take off the smallest amount of x's. So that's taking off 8x from both sides. 12 equals 2x, add 25. Take the 25 off, So minus 13 equals 2x. So therefore, x equals, I'm going to leave it as a fraction, minus 13 over 2. You may have written it as minus 6.5. Doesn't really make much sense because having a negative length is it actually impossible. But we just followed through the maths, and at the moment we're just looking at this as an introduction to solving problems. So if we get a bit of a silly answer, at the moment it's okay. All right then. So here's a couple of questions for you to try. So if you pause the video and have a go at these questions, and then we'll go through the answer afterwards. So pause the video now. Okay, so now you've had a go. Let's go through the answers. So find the area of this. So I draw the grid out. Okay. I've then got 3x squared, 21x, 9x, and 63. So overall, my area is 3x squared, add 30x, add 63. Nice and easy for the first one. Second one is very similar. So I'm going to draw my grid out here. 3x minus 3, 4x add 5. That'll be 12x squared minus 12x, 15x minus 15. So overall, then I simplify that together, you get 12x squared. These two bits go together to give you plus 3x minus 15. And that's my area of that. Okay. So question 3. The area of the shape is 20. Show that that's true. So this time I'm going to draw the grid inside just because that's where I've got some space. X add 2 times x add 9. That's x squared, 2x, 9x, and 18. So if I simplify that underneath, I've got x squared, add 11x, add 18, and that equals this area here, which is 20. So I need to make it equal 0, so I'm going to take 20 off both sides. So you end up with x squared, add 11x, minus 2 equals 0. Okay, we're not going to solve it at the moment. This one, so again, I'm going to draw my grid inside because I've got plenty of space there. 3x add 7, 2x add 7, that's 6x squared, 14x, 21x, and 49. So you end up with 6x squared, add 35x, add 49, and that has to equal 60. So I want it to equal 0, so I take 60 off both sides, and you end up with 6x squared, add 35x, minus 11 equals 0. I've shown it works. Okay, so now we come on to this one. So they're saying that area A and B are the same. Find x. So the area of A, I'm going to expand the bracket again. X add 5 times x add 3. That's x squared, 5x, 3x, and 15. Okay. The area of B would be x add 1 times x add 7. That's x squared, x, 7x, and 7. So you end up with x squared add 8x add 15 equals x squared add 8x add 7. We're going to run into a bit of a problem here. Didn't think this one through very well. So take off the x squareds. So I end up with 8x add 15 equals 8x add 7. Get rid of the x's from one side and they cancel, and 15 equals 7 can't be true. So this one actually is impossible. Okay. This one, a rectangle A has an area twice that of rectangle B. So let's work out the areas first. So I've got 2x add 3, x add 3. That gives me 2x squared, 6x, 6x, and 9. So far it's 2x squared add 12x add 9. And this one, I actually expand this. You get x squared, x, 9x, and 9. So when I write this down, I'm going to times it by 2 because it says it's twice the area. So that x squared times 2 is 2x squared. If I add those two bits together, you get 10x, but times that by 2 is 20x. And again, times the 9 by 2, you get 18. So the 2x squareds cancel. I need to get rid of the smallest amount of x's, so get rid of the 12 x's. So that becomes 8x add 18 equals 9. Take the 18 off, minus 9 equals 8x. So in this case, again, it doesn't really make much sense as an answer. We've got x equals minus 9 over 8. Right? In the exam, they would make sure that these answers would end up being positive. Now, final two questions. I'd like to find the area of each shape. So I want you to pause the video and have a go. Okay, now you've had a go. Let's split this down into two rectangles again. So I'm going to split it down there. So I've got this rectangle and this one. I need to find this length first. Well, what's the difference in the x's from x to 5x is 4x. All right, I've got an add 2 and I want an add 3, so I need to add 1 on there. So I'm going to do two grids. The first one is x add 2 times 7x add 9. That's 7x squared, 14x, 9x, and 18. The second grid I'm going to do is this one. So that's 4x add 1 and 2x add 2. That's 8x squared, 2x, 8x, and 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these together as we go. So actually, I'm going to write them out first, just so I don't make any mistakes. That way, 8x squared add 10x add 2. So add those together, you got 15x squared add 23x add 10, and that's your answer. So for this second one, so again, I'm going to split it going down this way. I've got that times out already. I need to work out this length. So the difference in the x's from 2x to 7x is 5x. The difference from plus 5 to plus 1 is minus 4. So I'm going to have the minus 4 on there. So my two grids are going to be 2x add 5 times 9x add 2. That's 18x squared, 45x, 4x, and 10. My second grid is going to be 5x minus 4 times 3x add 7. That's 15x squared, minus 12x, 35x, minus 28. So overall, 18x squared add 49x add 10, and 15x squared add 24x minus 28. If I put those together, you end up with 33x squared add, what's that, 69, 73x, and add 8, add minus 28 goes down to minus 18. And that'll be the area of the last one. Okay, bye.